Hi everyone, my name is Joel, and today I'm going to be talking to you about the muskrat. To be completely honest, I picked this animal mostly as a joke because I thought, what could be goofier than a muskrat? Needless to say, I was pleasantly surprised at how interesting and unique these animals are. So one of the things you're most likely wondering about is, why is it named a muskrat? And it turns out they're actually named after the musky secretions that are emitted from their anal glands during mating season. I guess the name stinky rat was already taken. So oddly enough, the muskrat is not closely related to the rat or to the beaver. It's actually most closely related to the field mouse. Speaking from my own experience, I've definitely mistaken a muskrat for a baby beaver before. So I found this fact really interesting. The muskrat really did wow me when I was reading about all the adaptations that it has for life by the water. It's an exceptional swimmer thanks to its large paddle-like rear feet. It also has a tail that it can use for steering and for propulsion. It can also dive underwater for a really long time due to its ability to slow its heart rate and muscle activity. In this image, you can clearly see the big feet that the muskrat uses for swimming. You can also see how the fur on the animal is layered. There's long guard hairs on top and there's soft hairs against the skin. So moving on, one of the things that surprised me most about this species is how widely distributed it is. As you can see from this map, the muskrat has colonized the vast majority of North America. This massive distribution means that the muskrat is actually one of the most successful mammals in North America. The muskrat was actually introduced to Europe as well and has colonized a large portion of Europe and Asia. This remarkable adaptability is largely due to the fact that the muskrat is so at home in aquatic environments like wetlands. Basically, if there's water, a muskrat will be able to live in or around it. Not every body of water will be perfect, however, and the most important factor for muskrat habitat is water depth. If the water is too shallow, it will freeze solid in the winter, but if it's too deep, then aquatic plants will not be able to grow. The ideal water depth is right around 1 or 2 meters. The muskrat is an omnivore. However, it prefers to be a herbivore. Its favorite foods are cattails, sedges, wild rice, and willows. However, if times get hard, the muskrat will eat other organisms that it catches, such as fish, frog, and clams. The muskrat isn't exactly the top of the food chain, and it represents a tasty meal for a number of predators, the most deadly of which is the mink. This predator is so threatening to the muskrat mostly because it too makes its home in wetlands. It's also capable of digging into muskrat houses and crawling up their tunnels to hunt them. Muskrats rarely die of old age, and this is mostly due to the predation that they're often faced with. Coyotes, badgers, fishers, and snapping turtles, and so many other animals hunt muskrats for a meal. At 3 to 4 years of age, the muskrat slows significantly and its reflexes are reduced. This usually marks the end of its life. Despite all the predation that the muskrat faces, the single greatest threat is still humans. Entire muskrat populations have been wiped out when humans drain wetlands for development. Additionally, the muskrat is also commonly trapped, and it actually provides trappers with more income than any other North American fur bearer. The reproduction of this species is particularly interesting. A single female is capable of having up to 3 litters of up to 10 offspring in a season. Also, mating pairs do not remain together through a season, meaning that their mates are transient. This ability to have so many offspring in the short breeding season is a huge advantage, as the winter provides no opportunities for mating. The muskrat also has a really quick development time. Gestation of the young only takes 1 month, and after 6 weeks, the young separate from their parents. This means that the mother can continue on and birth another litter of offspring. Another interesting factor regarding muskrat reproduction is the population crash seen every 7 to 10 years. Researchers have not yet been able to pin down exactly what causes this crash, however, there are some theories. One is that the populations are killed off through predation or trapping, and another is that the population reaches old age and reproduction fails. As I said before, I was really surprised at some of the adaptations that this animal has, so I thought I would share some now. One of the most interesting ones is the 2 sets of teeth that emerge past the lips. That means that it's capable of eating while being underwater. Another really interesting adaptation that they developed is the ability to hold their breath for 15 minutes underwater. This is accomplished by slowing the heart rate, relaxing the muscles, and using oxygen that the animals have stored in the muscle tissue. One last adaptation that the muskrat has is the ability to navigate underwater in almost complete darkness. During the long winter months, the ice and snow above the water block almost all sunlight from getting under the ice. Despite this, the muskrat thrives and is capable of spending much of the winter in near complete darkness. To finish off, I just wanted to say that this animal really is a wonder. It's so uniquely adapted to its environment, And I think these remarkable adaptations are what has allowed this species to be so successful in North America. I really enjoyed learning about the muskrat, and I feel like I was being surprised at every turn by another cool fact. Here's my reference page, and as you can see, I only needed one from the Canadian Wildlife Federation. This is a fantastic source for learning about this species, and I recommend checking it out if you want to learn more about the muskrat or any other species. Thank you, and have a great day.